Scott had Belle on the floor, had some no secco in his mouth and put it straight into hers. I was like, this is a family
And she
show.
was like, ah.
Welcome back to Love Island the morning after. Harrison and Jessy are back again, and so are we. I'm Amy Hart.
And I'm Indra Polak. And back with us this morning is the wonderful Georgia Harrison. Morning, love.
Good morning, girls. How are you?
We're good, thank you. How's your heart rate?
Oh, it's absolutely pumping. After
It's quite
that,
high.
very high.
Who raised yours the most?
Oh, maybe Harrison. He just got back.
In this little skirt. Gladiator skirt.
Yeah, I really like his skirt.
Yeah.
Fashionable.
Now, talking of Harrison, we have got two new bombshells. We were speculating before who they might have been. And it was Harrison and Jessy. So Harrison was last summer. He was with Tony. And then he had a bit of a thing with Helena. And then he ended up with Lauren. And then Jessy was obviously with Joey 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're back for more. Who do we think they're going to go for?
The best bet for Jessy, realistically, is to go for Tommy. But I think if we're being real, that probably isn't her type. If she's gone out of Joey Essex, it's probably going to be more of a Scott.
It's a bit of a jump.
But she'll have to get in line,
Essex.
wouldn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Scott is hot property at the moment.
Yeah.
And for Harrison, look, we witnessed him last night drop the same riz twice. Talking about the eye colour, I caught that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to get around the villa again.
Yeah, that felt like almost like a challenge. I didn't even understand how you can do that so soon.
Now, he said that Belle and Cher were his types. He did speak to them, and also Lucinda. Who do you think's most likely for him out of those three?
You know what? I think if he doesn't want any drama, then I would say Cher, but it's Harrison. And after I saw him last night, I don't think he's here to be a good guy. You know, he's here to cause a bit of drama. He's here to stir the pot. He's here to bombshell. I feel like he will go for Belle, but we have seen Belle has now got ice for Scott, so it could be Lucinda. But for me, I'm going to sit with Belle.
I thought it would be a Lucinda thing, and I
Yeah.
thought Lucinda would easily be swayed. But actually, after the challenge, she only pulled up Sean, and I sort of expected her to give Harrison a little bit more attention. So, yeah, maybe Belle. But I don't know. I don't think Belle and Scott are going to be a thing, personally.
You don't? Do you think he's going to go back to Leanne?
I just think she's laying it on too thick, and I don't see him going down that route. And even if he does, I don't think it's going to sit well.
I thought that maybe Harrison and Belle were a real good goer, and then he used the same line again. I was like, oh, okay, clearly, like that's just a line. But then I thought maybe her sort of routine in the heart rate challenge.
Routine.
It's what it is. It's a dance routine.
Like she practices it every day.
Her routine and the heart rate challenge. I felt that maybe Harrison's a proud man. He's got quite a few girls.
Yeah.
That like the look of him, and she's like really trying to go for Scott. And I'm in love with a stripper and all this. I thought that maybe might put Harrison off a little bit.
I think, it could, but it's early days.
Early days.
It's early days. Harrison has got a bombshell, and at the end of the day, he's just got here.
Yeah.
He's got to take whatever comes. Anything that he hears that might make him feel a little bit uncomfortable, it's like, look, you're new here. Okay, get with the program.
And he says he's there for a girlfriend, but do we think he's the kind of boy that's there for a girlfriend, or is he there to get a little bit more airtime?
I don't know. I'd like to believe that he's there for a girlfriend.
Yeah, everyone deserves a second chance,
Yeah.
And I thought that until he came in and acted like he did today.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely thought this could be like Harrison's redemption story.
Yeah.
Because when I saw him on his last season, I sort of had this feeling of like maybe he just got led down the wrong path. He's only young.
Yeah.
Like he probably made mistakes and he's not really a bad guy. And then he came in this time and just acted like a bit of a sleaze within the first 10 minutes.
But do you think that comes from, like, obviously, nobody's going to go up to him in the street, I would hope, and be like, I thought you were really out of order on your season. Like, how you treat those girls was not great. Like, you were led astray by the boys, yada, yada, yada. Everyone's going to be like, I loved you on Love Island.
But he only has to open his DMs.
I
I'm
know,
sure
but do you think that might be like, it's him coming on being like, they love it when I do this? Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. They
he's
thrive
probably
off it.
he's probably just using his flirtatious tactics that usually work.
And then obviously at the end we had Jessy come in.
Oh my gosh.
What a great bombshell entrance. She came in and said, sorry boys that I made you wait, and then did a slut drop. I mean,
That
what a
takes
way.
some confidence.
it's how I greet everyone.
She snogged Tommy off the bat, which is sort of what he needed, I think,
Yeah.
after what we saw last episode.
Oh, so he was the first one round the fire pits. It was like, right, is she gonna like, do everyone? And she didn't. Just Tommy and Scott.
So I think that's her even making it clear, her type, who she's after, who she's interested in. And I guess, Scott, he's got a lot of drama going on out right now. So if they do get together, good airtime, good storyline. Tommy, he's literally a sweetheart in the villa. Everybody loves him. He deserves love.
Yeah.
And he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Jessy is such a lovely, lovely girl.
Yeah.
Obviously, we met her when she did her summer series. I don't think that she is ruthless enough, especially with Scott currently having a bit of a queue. I think she'll just go for Tommy But he's such a lovely boy, and I really hope that, I know you said that it might not be her type, but I mean, I hope it works out for him, even for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I do think she's sweet, but she did take Joey off Grace. So she isn't scared to ruffle feathers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also, I was saying, I feel like we didn't even see that much of Jessie in her season, because even though she was with Joey, it was more kind of like Joey doing all the talking.
Joey shouting at Grace, and then
do you know what I
Jessie
mean?
stood
It was
there.
more kind of all about Joey and kind of Jessie telling him to calm down and stop being so dramatic about everything. So I feel like it'll be really nice to see Jessie for who she is, her real type, how she is in relationships.
Yeah.
You know, she's going to go between Scott and Tommy. It'll be nice to see how she handles that.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe
exciting.
Joey went for Jessie rather than, like, she didn't do like a proper like bombshell come in and like, I don't care whose toes I tread on vibes.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
different.
It
Whereas
was
now
chill,
she
it was
literally walked in and was
cute.
like, which one's going to be mine?
Lights, camera, villa drama. Movie night came back with a bang and the looks were giving red carpet ready. Let's get into the debrief. The US boys did not come to play, with Zach in a Versace shirt, Carrington wearing Comme des Garçons, and Yeaman rocking a Versace shirt with Novu trousers. Kieran mixed it up a little with his stunning St. Michael beige suit, and Connor brought the vibes with that silky and sultry blue Martine Rose shirt. Our leading ladies all looked so beautiful tonight. Lucinda brought the drama in a House of Maguire dress, whilst Imani looked sensational in a Bronx and Branco dress. And Millie shone bright like a diamond in an Albina Dyla embellished dress and Steve Madden heels. Movie night brought cinema-level suspense and scene-stealing pre-love looks. Gasps were had, popcorn was dropped. For show-stopping moments worthy of movie night, find your perfect party look on eBay, sponsors of Love Island All-Stars. Also, eBay are going live with Series 12 winners Tony and Cash this coming Friday at 3 p.m, where you'll have the chance to win some amazing looks straight from the All-Stars Villa. Go to the eBay UK Instagram to learn more details. Right, let's talk about Scott. We've got a lot to get through. There's a lot of layers. So, Scott and Leanne, done. Scott and Belle, starting to Tinder. News was getting round.
News getting round.
News getting around the villa that she fancied him. The news was getting around basically because she told people who told people.
She
so
couldn't
like
keep
it was
it in.
it was her news to share, and she shared it. And then Scott found out and was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then obviously in the heart rate challenge, Scott grabbed Belle and said, "Let's
get this hurricane going.
Or
Let's get caught up in the hurricane.
yeah, let's get caught up in the hurricane." And then he grabbed Leanne and said, "We're not done till we're done."
We're not done till I say we're done.
Exactly. But can we also, can we remember the fact that Scott had Belle on the floor, had some no secco in his mouth and put it straight into hers? I don't know what I was watching. I was like, this is a family
And she
show.
was like, ah.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. It was a lot. It was fun, but I do feel like it was a bold statement from Scott. Now, do we think Scott is actually going, like you were saying, do we think he's going to actually entertain Belle, or was it just a bit of, hot, sexy dance banter? Do you think he really wants to go there? It was a big statement. It was a big gesture.
I think he really likes Leanne. And
Yeah.
I think he's actually just showing off. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
deep down, he knows that he's sort of got both of them pining for him at the moment. Even though Leanne's saying she's staying strong, it's clear that she does sort of still like him. So I just think he's lapping it up, really. And
Yeah.
he thinks he's the man. It's actually a little bit annoying.
And also, they always have their ones and their twos, don't they? I
Yeah.
feel like Leanne is his one.
Yeah.
And now he's like, right, Belle fancies me. She hasn't got anyone. I might not have anyone. So actually, I can sort of keep her there, keeping her warm, like the low heat, and wait and see if Leanne wants me. And if she doesn't, then I'll go back to Belle because she'll
Yeah.
always be there.
And I
She's
think
not on
that's
a low
Scott's
heat.
thing.
She's
Scott's
literally
keeping her low
acting
heat,
like
and
they've
she
been
is.
together for the entire process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like she's saying, I can't look when Leanne and Scott together. That should be Leanne's chat.
100%.
Like at times I stand Belle, but like on this episode, it was a bit like she was talking like he was her man, when it's actually completely the opposite.
Yeah.
What do you think about when, obviously, he said those things to the girls, and then Leanne said, we're not done till I say we're done. And then he said, what did she say to you, Belle?
No
and she
comment.
went, no comment. Like, do you think she should have stood on business and said what he said?
I mean, I think so. I feel like it's a sexy challenge. It was an open conversation. At the end of the day, as it stands, they're both single. So there's no reason for Belle to withhold this information. It just seemed a little bit like she was trying to wind Leanne up.
Yeah, nothing stays secret in Love Island. We all
Exactly.
know that. Like by the next morning, 100% she's going to have heard about it. So she might as well just turn around and be like, he just said, let's get caught up in this hurricane. And
Yeah.
I think it's an odd statement anyway, because hurricanes are shit. Like,
Yeah. Do you think that is him trying to raise their heart rate saying those things? Or do you think it is him using, I mean, it's a lot quicker than pulling someone for a chat and having to do all the niceties first, isn't it?
To be honest, yeah. I mean, do you know what? It could be for the heart rate challenge, but I feel like if we sort of break them down, there's kind of more truth in what he said to Leanne, because really and truly, Leanne dumped him. He didn't really have a say.
No.
And now he's trying to claw back and be like, we're not done until I say it's over. Like, he's not had a chance to actually, like tell Leanne how he feels. And, what he said to Belle, it was kind of word of mouth, Belle didn't tell him directly. He heard from the boys and he thought, you know what, I'm going to use it to my advantage.
Yeah, I think even if it was just for the heart rate, it still is like a little bit deep because he knows
100%.
she likes him.
Yeah.
So it's still sort of like playing on two girls' feelings and it's giving like Belle that little bit of hope that I personally don't think actually exists.
No.
So
And then she started saying she was in love with a stripper, which I
God.
don't think was the right place and time. Again,
No.
it's...
And she cocked her leg.
Yeah. I know.
She did.
Do the leg circles.
Like in Pilates.
Yeah.
And you
I was
do
thinking about saying
yeah,
Pilates.
the fire hydrant.
Yeah. I know yesterday I was saying that I personally didn't find it very hypocritical because, they're both single, they're free agents and stuff. However, last week we spent the whole week saying, like, okay, what Sean and Lucinda did was like part of Love Island, but the way they did it was pretty disrespectful and stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I do think now, potentially, Belle is single, Scott is single, Leanne is single. But again, her saying, what did he say to you? No comment. And then going, I'm in love with a stripper.
And Leanne is right there.
It's potentially disrespectful.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like it can be seen as disrespectful. They are both single, but I think it's all about how they handle it moving forward. And I think it's important for, Belle to kind of, I know she really does obviously fancy Scott, but I think she needs to not get too lost in the sauce because she doesn't want to get herself hurt either, because I feel like she'll be very upset potentially if Scott actually ends up going back to Leanne and she's now putting all that effort. And at the moment, I would say it's a little bit one-sided because Scott hasn't really said anything yet. It's all kind of like Belle telling the girls and all that kind of stuff. So I think she should kind of draw back a little bit and at least find out first if Scott's even on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Yeah, all Scott's sort of saying is if it doesn't go the way that he hopes it would with Leanne, it's a potential.
And
And
it's
no
like-
one wants to be second option. And they do have this underlying sort of friendship from the time that they've been there. And where it's gone that little bit of an extra level, I think it is going to hurt her if it doesn't work out.
And I think she'll be quite embarrassed again. I feel like her main beef with the whole Sean situation is that she was really quite embarrassed that this had happened. And I feel like if she's gone around telling everyone I really fancy Scott, what do I say to Leanne? Or were I fucking across the villa? If it then turns out that he does go back to Leanne, I think then she'll be really embarrassed again. She might
I
act the
fucked and
same.
chucked.
Yeah. I fucked and chucked, yeah.
That's a new
That
one.
sucks.
So what do we think about the whole situation? So Harrison has come inside the villa, he's pulled the girls for a chat and, he's spoken to Leanne. Leanne's like, look, I'm single, that's done with me. He's now speaking to the boys and Scott's like, well, what did Leanne say? And Harrison, black and whitely, was like, look, she said she's single and that's done.
Well, no, he actually said, Scott was like, you know more than I do, when
Yeah.
Leanne had actually already told him
multiple times
that they were done. So no, Scott, you know the same as everyone else.
He knows the same.
Yeah.
But then he goes back into the heart rate challenge and says to Leanne, we're not done until I say we're done. So do we think it was kind of like an ego thing? Do we think he genuinely really misses Leanne? And hearing another man come to him and be like, well, Leanne said she's single, that's kind of made him realize, actually, no, I don't want Leanne to be single.
I think it's a weird one because in the heart rate challenge, you're like, wow, I
Yeah.
can't believe he just said that. If your friend said to you, I've told this bloke like 4 times that we're done, and he's replied to me and said, we're not done till I've said we're done, you'd be like, block him now. So I feel like because he's wearing whatever he was wearing, his like little butler's outfit and had the Noseko, we're like, woohoo.
Yeah, sexy.
So easily swayed.
But then do you know what? This makes me think that Leanne and Scott are a lot similar than we realised, because I know shortly after, Leanne did turn around and say, oh, miss you. But that wasn't until after, he said what he said to Belle when she saw that interaction. So was Leanne herself also a little bit jealous, like seeing Belle and Scott together, and that kind of made her realise in the moment, actually, I actually do miss Scott and I kind of want to get back with him?
Or do you think it's because all the boys were there in their like little pants and their gladiator outfits and stuff, and she thought, there's literally nobody here for me apart from Scott.
Hey,
I'm not, I had that one chat with
she
Yeoman.
saw Harrison's skirt and she was like, come back.
You come back to me, please.
I mean, Helena felt the same way.
Yeah.
She was ready to get rid of him last night. And then
Yeah.
after the heart rate challenge, she's like, do you know what?
He'll
Forget
do.
about what I said
Yeah.
yesterday. Hey, I mean, what do we think is going to happen with these guys? Do we think Scott and Leanne are going to circle back and be this power couple that they could potentially be?
Yeah, probably, because I think that he knows that that's where he's best to go. And I think that she knows there's nobody else in there for her. So I think better the devil you know.
It's giving like Ross and Rachel are friends.
Yeah.
It's giving like you have to go through all this like random drama and you are going to come back together. I think they both clearly still like each other.
I think they both clearly still like each other.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Scott knows that Leanne isn't afraid to stand on business. Even though she's saying to Harrison, she's single, he knows that if he wants her back, he's going to have to grovel. But he also does know that she will leave him if necessary.
Yeah.
So it's, it's really up to him now if he really wants to work for it.
Yeah.
And technically, by Love Island standards, they're all single because nobody has closed off. Oh, Sammy and Kieran.
We've got no exclusivity.
They've
We've
still
had
not
nothing.
said exclusive.
No.
And there's no boyfriend and girlfriend.
No.
No.
But can I say Sammy shut down that heart rate challenge?
Let's talk about the heart rate challenge. Who were your favourites?
For the girls, Sammy, 100%. Like, I just think where she's so classy and she always dresses like very demure and you don't really see that side of her, she just came out like this sexy bitch and everyone was like, what? Like, I just didn't expect her to be that hot. And I think that's what the best thing about the heart rate challenge is. Like, it brings that side out of the women that you don't always see.
And also, her outfit wasn't like a lot of them were in like latex and stuff. Whereas again, hers was
very
like really
simple.
pretty.
Yeah.
And then she came out and was sucking everyone's fingers.
Yeah, she came out innocent and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then for the guys, it's going to have to be Carrington. He came out like a pimp. He's been shot down for the whole last episode. He's been called fake. He's been called boring. Helena's literally just like left him in the dust. And he came out like slut dropped, grabbed her on the floor for 10 seconds and suddenly he's back.
I liked Sean. I do think that maybe someone sewed his trousers together and told him they're Velcro ones.
To be honest.
The Velcro the whole way down, don't worry, just to add us a bit of comic relief. And Tommy, I thought, bless him, like after the week he's had, like everyone was so supportive of him.
Yeah, to be honest. I think for the boys, you know what? I think Yeaman.
Yeah,
I think
as well,
he was
yeah.
so funny. I think he took it all on the chin. And like, I feel like we're seeing a different side to him, especially with like him and Whitney's relationship and him gelling with like the UK boys. Like, I thought his was really funny. And I think out of the girls, I think Millie, I loved her outfit.
Yeah,
I loved
she
the
done
big
so
wings.
well.
And she gave everyone like a good,
Her hair looks
30
amazing.
seconds. Hair was good. She had a laugh. And yeah, I thought hers was really, really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went all in.
She
And
did.
like Zach was vibing off it.
Yeah.
He was. He was like, this is sexy.
What did we think of Jack's routine?
Oh, the
With his
oil.
baby oil.
Jack, do you know what? He was shiny.
I always say, Donna girls, I think Jack's one of my favourite boys. I don't know why. I just absolutely love him. I feel like he's an underdog. I feel like I just love his little ginger face and his little persona. I do. He was quite stiff.
Yeah.
He was a little bit stiff, but that's why I love him.
Bless him. Him and Cher. What's going on there? That rhymed.
I think they're together.
Well, they think they're together, but it doesn't appear that there's been any conversation.
It's always mismatched.
Yeah,
It's like they're
yeah.
always out something together, but we never actually see like any real moments of them two being
Yeah.
really romantic.
Yeah.
She was like, sorry, Jack, and all that. And you're like,
think
why are you
obviously-
apologising? No, you're not
I think
together.
obviously now they're both out of a triangle. They kind of have fallen back together.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jack isn't speaking to anyone else anymore. Neither is Cher. So it's just sort of like, let me go home and actually make this work again.
Yeah.
You know, they don't need to talk about it. Scott's out of the picture. Imani's gone home. Kira's gone home. Let's just pick up where we left off.
And I hope it works because
Yeah.
honestly, I love him.
One person I really related to was Whitney,
Yes.
because she got halfway around and was like, I'm done now. I'd be like that. I'm bored
Why
now.
not?
And she
I
said,
cannot be
yeah,
bothered.
said 9
So
boys. I
long.
haven't got 9 moves.
I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot. After like the third boy in the sexy dance, you're like, I've got nothing left. Like, what do you expect me to do?
But she didn't really give Yeaman what he deserved. Like, she didn't give him a little kiss. She didn't make him feel special at all. And I feel like they've been a couple that we actually quite like together.
Yeah.
And after, everyone was just a bit like, oh, you got nothing. Like, she didn't just quit halfway through. She,
Yeah.
didn't bother with
I
him.
think
But
she's
maybe
just
she
a bit
just felt
shy.
I was going to say,
uncomfortable,
probably PDA is already like enough
Definitely.
in the villa.
Yeah.
Let alone
I
having
can
to
relate
in
to that,
underwear.
obviously, yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
like,
having to shake it about in underwear,
Yeah.
walk around my boyfriend and all his other friends. Like, it's
Yeah.
probably a lot.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Her and Yeaman are so cute. And we always see on the little night cam, they get their little cute little smooches in.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she's going to make Yeaman feel very appreciated.
Yeah, it was
off
just
camera.
the environment. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I didn't even do anything. So.
9 moves,
She
9
got 4
boys.
times further than I did.
And that is all we have time for this morning. Georgia, will you join us tomorrow? And we're going to find out the results of the Heart Rate Challenge.
I can't wait to be back and I cannot wait to see it.
And also tomorrow we will be joined by Curtis and Connor live in the studio. You are not going to want to miss it. We'll see you then.
Bye.